Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Whether this is the first time or you're coming back for a little more love, we're grateful to have you with us. We always like to set the tone, and we are all about love and peace and joy and happiness. So if that's what you're looking for, you found the right location.
Yep, thank you, everyone. And as Gloria said, if you're new, we are Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. So we would like to talk about the teas that we're chatting over today. My tea that I'm drinking is from a company called Yogi, and it's called Honey Chai Turmeric Vitality. There you go. And I have some ingredients. I'm going to put my glasses on for these ingredients. All organic, and it says here proprietary blend of herbs, turmeric root, cinnamon bark, ginger root, cardamom pod, stevia leaf, clove bud, and my important when you have turmeric is to pair it with the black pepper. So there we have it. And I've been doing, if you are regular, I've been doing 2 tea bags because I like my teas stronger. So that's what I have. And what are you drinking today, Gloria?
I am drinking a tea by Organics. It is a chamomile lavender tea.
Very good. I love
Yes.
your lavender.
Yes, I wanted to try something a little different. The ingredients are organic chamomile flowers, organic lavender flowers, organic sweet orange peel, organic rose hip berries. No black pepper, but we're going to make it do what it's going to do.
Yep, yep, yep.
And it's
Oh,
warm where I am, so I decided to do a little iced tea with it.
yeah, I
So,
see. I did regular black tea with my two tea
all
bags.
right.
All right. Cheers,
Cheers.
everyone. Ooh, I love that
Mm.
strong taste. Strong,
Yes, I
strong
love
taste.
that too. Yum, 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 yum. Okay, so as we get started with our chats, our thoughts and prayers go out to the universe because Rosetta and I believe when we can learn to love one another, then we will all be in a better space. The entire universe will be in a better space. So let's get started. Today is National there are two. I'm going to do the first one. It's National Vinyl Record Day. I know some of you are going, what? Yes, a vinyl record. It's what we used to use to hear music back in the day. And the day is to commemorate the day that Thomas Edison invented the photograph in 1877. The observance honors the cultural influence, warm analog sign. The sound was just, we even had like a little crackling back in the day when you would listen to
Yes.
vinyl music. And the physical art of the vinyl. The vinyl was not just a piece of vinyl, it had art related to the album or to the single cover. So happy National Vinyl Record Day.
I love that. I love that. And we call them just records now.
Yes.
Right. The other national day is Middle Child Day. Even though I'm not a middle child, I'm the youngest. I'm talking about middle child today. And of course, larger families celebrate more than one middle child. It's hard to just pick one middle child. And they say that the birth order may contribute to the five personality traits: extroversion, neuroticism, agreeableness, um, consciousness, and open to experience. And one personality study also claims the middle child tends to be more artistic and creative. So if you're a middle child, are you artistic or creative? Because I
Hmm.
sure am not, and I'm the baby, so I'm not the
Yeah.
artistic one. All right, so that is Middle Child Day. Now we turn to birthdays that we usually do, and today's birthday is George Hamilton's birthday. You're probably wondering, who's George Hamilton? Well, for us older ladies, we know him. He is famous for that nice suntan glow he has. He was always
Yes.
had like an orangey face, But that
Yes.
was because he loved to look healthy. He thought that was a relationship between glowing and healthy. And some
Yes.
of his works that you might know him for are classics like Zorro, The Godfather 3, Dynasty is American
Dynasty.
State,
Yes.
and the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. So happy
Yes.
birthday, George Hamilton. All right. As you know, these past several weeks, we have been doing updates on the Nolan Wells case. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because it's been a really big national news for the past nearly 8 weeks. This started all the way back 4th of July when Nolan Wells, he's from Ocean Springs, and he went with some friends to Horn Island and did not return, and 2 days later, they found him. He had drowned. Well, that was what they thought he had. He had the cause of his death was. And now we're doing some investigations and updates. Now, I'm not going to go into detail his past history and everything. You can watch our previous chats of all the updates. But I like to give you the latest updates. And today, the update I have is that three of Nolan's friends that was supposedly on the island with him, they did an interview with an officer called Officer Tatum, and they're asking questions, and they're trying to get their perspective on things. And the interview, one of the friends, his name is Warren Hudson. This is what he says. He says that Nolan's mom had been blasting them on social media from the get go, from the beginning, and says that he was saying that he was out with their. She was saying this, so he's saying that the mother is blasting it, saying that her son Nolan was out with Warren and some other friends, and she posted a picture of them with Morgan, another guy, and Nolan. Those were his friends on the boat together. And he thought that she was pushing a narrative which never really happened. Now, a lot of people don't know this because a lot of news has been going around thinking that Nolan got on the boat from Ocean Springs to Horn Island with Warren. He did not get on the boat with Warren. He got on a different boat. You have to remember there were three boats. All of Nolan's friends were on there. So we don't know which boat he got on. And we don't know which boat supposedly he said he was meant to go back to Ocean Springs with. So we have no idea on this. Um, they're talking about the interview with the friends. They're talking about how people are pushing the narrative like it's a race thing, and they're kind of not really liking this. But they're saying that Nolan Wild. So we're saying that he didn't ride on the boats to Horn Island, and also the gal that supposedly people say that he was going to stay back on the island with was Katie. They found out that the friends said they didn't know her, but they had been communicating with her, texting with her. Now, there is another interview with the attorneys for the boys on an XM show. This is like a satellite show, and then they're saying that the family had not turned over Nolan's phone. So Nolan's family had not turned over Nolan's phone, and they're saying that, to their knowledge, there is no missing text messages or anything that was wiped clean from the phone. Now, a letter from Nolan's family's attorney, the takeaway was that the family was willing to turn over the phone. And the reason why they had not turned over the phone is because they don't want to just turn over the phone to have the examination done by the authorities, one party. They wanted to turn over the phone with a joint forensic examination so that they could examine the phone along with the other authorities at the same time, because that's what they wanted to do, which is the reason why they've not handed over the phone. So we are coming up to 7 weeks since his death. They're saying that usually you can expect toxicology reports to come out around 7 or 8 weeks and not before that. Now, they're also saying that if things like going through the days, if these days, if it drags on for a long time, like for weeks and weeks, like if it's gone past 11 or 12 weeks, then people are going to start asking questions. So there needs to be some kind of report. Normally, they're saying that things come out before the 12-week mark. If it's gone over 12 weeks and there's no report, then people can start asking questions. So, really, those are the only updates I have, and I haven't heard anything else. There's a lot of repetition going on, but this is the updates so far.
All right. Yes, not a whole lot new. Lots of investigations though. So eventually we will get more information. I just think it's interesting how, the person says, "Oh, it's AB," and then the other person says, "No, it wasn't." So there's a lot of that going on. So hang in there, parents. You will find out what happened eventually. So a lot of people loved a show that was called This Is Us. It went off. The finale, I think, was either in 2024 or 2025. There was an actress, and her name is Chrissy Metz, and she's a curvy girl. She really stood out because she's one of the most curviest girls that I've seen in a number one primetime show. So she has lots of people, lots of followers. Well, she has a couple of new things going on. Number one, she is a new row um, spokesperson. She initially lost 100 pounds. She did that through diet, walking, strength training, and now she has lost an additional 63 pounds on row using the GLP-1 medication. Um, she has a lot going on because now that she's starting to lose weight, she wants to do more things. So she is on Broadway right now in a play that's called Aunt Juliet with Joey Fontaine. He, if you would say, Joey Fontaine, that sounds familiar. He's one of the NSYNC guys. So it's really cool that they're doing this Broadway play together. And she also loved living in Nashville. That's her home base. She moved to New York City so that she would be closer, so that she could do her performances. So we wish you a lot of good luck with both the weight loss as well as being on Broadway, representing curvy girls everywhere.
Yeah, thanks for that little update. And I'm going to do another update, which we've been doing over the past few weeks in regards to foodborne illness. We've all heard about this issue with illnesses coming from lettuce that Taylor Farms produced, and it's causing a outbreak all over the country. Now, some big grocery stores are pulling alongside of the iceberg lettuce, they are pulling outside of that, they're pulling jalapenos. Jalapenos are being pulling off the shelves as the FDA are reporting salmonella outbreaks. So not only do we have this parasite from the icebergs, we also have salmonella outbreaks, and this is across 27 states. Now, Whole Foods, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Target, they are recalling some guacamole dips and salsa with the jalapeno. And Kroger's, Albertsons, Walmart, HEB, which I've not heard of, is another supermarket in another state, are also pulling meat and poultry that have jalapenos in them. And also, along with that, wraps, burritos, and enchiladas. Because I do know that some of the stores carry ready made foods already that have this ingredient in there. They're saying that many of these jalapenos products are not tied to the salmonella cases that were grown by Taylor Farms. What they're saying is that the jalapenos were grown in Mexico from another company out of, let's see, the icebergs came from central Mexico. The jalapenos are coming from a region called Sinaloa, and they're distributed by a company called Coast Citrus. So here we have it. Now we're now talking about jalapenos. In the past, Gloria and I talked about different things like cilantro, um,
Okay,
different
parsley.
parsley, other things besides iceberg. And now we do have, but it's very far and few, some cases in California. I don't know where, but it's not as bad as the other states, but there are 27 states affected. So that's the latest update we have on that.
Yeah, the reason that we're not as affected here in California because we outsource a lot of our vegetables locally.
Exactly.
So, we're lucky where Michigan has 11,000 cases, we have 45. The thing to be aware of is these illnesses spread easily from person to person through contaminated waters and foods. Just be careful. Always, even if it says clean, clean it again. You can't over clean it. It's not like you're going to take the nutrients away.
And they're saying that weight loss is one of it because you're having excessive, rushing to the toilet. But they say that's not a good way to lose weight, so don't do it.
That's right. Not at all. It's not as good as you think. So, we just had the pleasure of hosting the FIFA World Cup. Well, now, baby, starting tomorrow, it is American football time. Yes. And our beloved San Francisco 49ers are kicking off a game tomorrow night. The 49ers are going against the Tennessee Titans. This is the preliminary season. This isn't the big start of football. So now teams, because remember, they got all these rookies. So they have to test them out and see who they keep and who they let go because the teams are too large. So the young men on these teams are going to be fighting really hard to get to be full-time, players versus I'm just a temporary for a few months. So that's going to be exciting. The first official I guess you could say full season game for the 49ers is going to be on Friday, September 11th, which is a date real dear to all of our hearts, in Australia. And the Jonas Brothers will be the headliners for the halftime show. So come on, babies, let's go. It's football time.
Exactly. Looking forward to football time and cheering our 49ers on. Love that. All right. We have Powerball Jackpot, which nobody has won. Can you believe that? And now the jackpot is $1 billion. B with a B. Sorry, B with a B.
Yes.
Billion with the B. 1 billion. And it's the eighth largest lottery Powerball jackpot in history. And if you get the cash option, you can get $433 million. Could you imagine? But I'm telling you, it is not as easy as people think because the reason why it has climbed to the billions is because more and more people are playing it because they're hoping they'll get a chance to win. But the odds are not that high. I mean, the odds are very slim. Now, they're saying that if you win in the United States, there are 10 states that are allowing anonymity. Am I saying that right? Anonymity, which means I'm trying to say the word where you don't have to reveal who you
Who
are.
you are. That's
Because we
right.
were talking about other countries, you don't have to show your face. You can be anonymous. And in America, you have to. But I found out 10 states, which are Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, Kansas, Missouri, South Carolina, Mississippi, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, you can be anonymous. But there are 23 states that you do have to require people to show to be identified. Uh, and but the way that you can get around this is that some people are actually setting up LLC and trusts so that when they claim the prize, it's in the name of the LLC or the trust. So that's another way you can go around that instead of showing everyone, telling everyone, here I am, I won the $1 billion. So if you are interested in taking a chance, the next one is tonight. So you still have time. Go on and get your tickets. I want to do it, but I'm not sure because it's low probability. But I don't know. We'll see if anyone wins.
Very true. And while this is exciting, it's going to get even more exciting because Canada is going to be joining the United States with the Powerball lottery going forward. So that means that the numbers are going to ramp faster. My only request, as I've always said, this was started to help schools. The schools are not getting better. So stop taking the money and giving it to people. A person that's getting $1 billion would be just as happy with $10 million and put money back into our schools for education. Take care of our children so that they can grow up and take care of us. That's my
Exactly.
only caveat.
I know we've talked about in the past that that's where it primarily stemmed from is to help the schools and what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to let you all forget it so that as we are getting ready for voting season, this is something you keep on your mind. All right. So today, a little bit earlier, because I think they're a few hours ahead of us, we had a total eclipse. And this was to mark the first total eclipse visible from mainland Europe since 1999. The path of the total crosses Greenland, Iceland, northern Spain, and a small part of Portugal, while a partial eclipse is visible across much of Europe, Northern America, and Northwest Africa. People are so excited. They were standing in line to buy their little glasses. Americans flew to the UK so that they could see it. It's really, really awesome. So for the UK, the European countries, congratulations on seeing what we get to see here, a little bit more frequently because we saw one not too long ago. So 99 was, what's that, 27 years ago. So we're glad you were able to see the eclipse.
Yeah, I was actually in the UK many, many moons ago. I can't remember how long it was. It was pre-pandemic. And I was actually in London and I was actually able to see that everything went completely dark. And I didn't
Yeah.
even know that that was what was meant to be happening that day. Just everything went completely dark. So it is an experience, a really, really unusual
Yes.
experience to experience. So that's great. Okay, I have something new that I'm going to talk about. It's in regards to McDonald's. Did you know that McDonald's do now have energy drinks? Did you know that? Well, I did not know that. And now they're pairing up these energy drinks specifically with a company called Red Bull. Now, I'm not a particular fan of energy drinks in person as in overall in general because I know some of the bad ingredients they have in them. There might be some others that have better ingredients, but I'm just not a big fan of them. But they've teamed up. Mickey D's have teamed up with Red Bull, and they have drinks such as ingredients such as dragon fruit energizer to add to their menu. Now, their signature flavors are with blue raspberry syrup and freeze dried dragon fruit. Now, there is a lower sugar version which is available made with Red Bull Zero. Also, adding to their dirty soda trend with new Diet Coke vanilla swirls, topped with the cold foam and Orange Dream, which is made with Fanta. Now, all adding to their existing lineup, and it's available August the 17th. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I'm not a big fan of these kind of drinks with a lot of syrups and stuff. And I can't believe how many people in this country love it. Now, since I heard about this story, I've been seeing more and more companies coming out with these, like Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, Dunkin' Donuts. They're all talking about these energy drinks. It's not just like different kinds of flavored sodas. They're calling them energy drinks, and they're trying to make people believe that it's good for you. But to me, I don't believe it's good. And along the lines of soda, 7 Up is coming up with a new formula. before they had it was more lemon forward flavors. Now they're going to be adding lime. So it's going to be a lime forward flavor. Now, I used to like 7 Up back in the days before I stopped drinking soda. I liked 7 Up and I liked it, not just the regular one, I did like it with lemon. I used to, back in the days when I drank soda, I liked to do Diet Coke with some lemonade. That's what I liked. So it had a nice kind of like a different taste to it. But because I don't drink soda anymore, I'm kind of shocked. Mickey D's is now teaming up with Red Bull. So, what do you think, people watching this chat? Do you like energy drinks? Do you drink energy drinks? Do you think you'll go to Mickey D's and try them? There's so many different flavors. I didn't even know they had all these different soda flavors and adding this and that. Now, dragon fruit, raspberry, cold foam. Wow, amazing, amazing. And it's actually might do better than a lot than some other places that charge more because Mickey D's usually charge less for their drinks. As you know, with the Mac Cafe, they started doing coffees and different coffee drinks, and they were charging less than Starbucks, Phil's, and all the other different big chain coffee companies. So I want to know what your thoughts are on this.
Well, I also agree with you because McDonald's is trying to expand its offerings because a lot of people are kind of like taboo on the food. People are like, I bought chicken nuggets, but all I'm getting is a little thin of chicken, and then I'm getting, batting, and the frying aspect. So this is an opportunity for them to bring about something that's you would think is more healthy. The energy drink, when you see Red Bull with blue raspberry syrup and freeze-dried dragon fruit over ice, making the chain's official entry into the fast food energy market. Apparently, they're entering it, but there are other entities that's been doing this for a while. So I would like it to be a little bit more healthy, like, dried dragon fruit, if that isn't high in sugar. But I mean, when you see Red Bull, which we know revs you up, and then blue raspberry syrup, I'm sure that's going to rev you up. It could be too much of a good thing. So Rosetta and I will keep an eye out on that to see how it goes. Um, I was going to talk to you a little bit about a um, process that we heard about, but we're going to skip that for now and we're going to talk about the weather. We are still experiencing severe weather patterns across the world, most specifically here in the United States, near the Chicago, Illinois area. They had 95 mile per hour winds, toppling trees falling into homes. They had rain. There's a there's a grid. So this grid is severe weather is greater than 250-mile path. The length is 60 miles plus, and the gust is 58 miles per hour winds plus per hour. And they also had 5 gusts of 75-mile per hour winds that stretched from Chicago, Des Moines, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, all the way through North Carolina, and down to Florida. This trough is just a non-technical word. It is like 200, I mean, excuse me, combined, it's like 800 plus miles long and 200 miles wide. So when things start swirling, it becomes very, very, very frightening. And they're telling people in these locations that these conditions are going to last through Friday. We also have heat waves. We have warnings because I'm going to tell you what it feels like, not what it is. So we have triple digits in Kansas City. It's going to feel like 106 degrees. Tulsa, 109. Montgomery, Alabama, 104. Dallas, 104. Myrtle Beach. Now, this is near the water it's going to feel like 103. Savannah, 105. Tallahassee, 105. New Orleans, which is surrounded by water, is going to feel like 105. Houston, 106. And Miami, which is also around by water, it's going to feel like 100 degrees. So the thing that we always try and tell everyone is be prepared, be careful. So when you go outside and you're in the environment, sunscreen, protect yourself, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad, the weathers with the tornadoes and the winds. Especially in Indiana, sorry, Columbus, Ohio, there was an incident where the winds were so strong that it flipped over a car. That's my nightmare. I mean, in California, we don't get winds that high, but we've had it like 20 miles an hour, 15 to 20 miles an hour, and that freaked me out just as much as someone will be freaked out about 100 miles per hour. But can you imagine driving your car and not knowing if your car is going to be flipped over? And that
Yeah.
car did get flipped over. They showed it on the news or some YouTube video or news report. It's pretty crazy. And one 4-year old, unfortunately, did die from that in Indiana. One of the storms. There's been
Yes.
so many offsets of different things with the storm, like an explosion happened from the storm. Some house caught on fire because of the storm. It's been
Yes.
really crazy, crazy, crazy. And here we are, like it's still summer. And I
Yeah.
can't believe that these states, the Northwest, Midwest, are still having floods and storms and tornadoes. It's crazy.
Yes. It's the most unusual summer I've ever heard.
It's getting worse and worse because every year, Gloria and I talk about the weather. This year is getting worse than last year. Last year was worse than the year before. I can only imagine what's going to happen next year. Didn't even know you could get any worse than what's happening now. So
Exactly.
again, stay tuned because we will be talking about all this in future chats and why we think this is all happening, all man-made.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep. And along with that, we're going to talk about something that happened um, in Colombia, the country Colombia. There was an earthquake, a 7.4 earthquake in Colombia. It was just so devastating because it was so quick and you could see all the buildings just collapsing into themselves or toppling over. And people on the streets, it shook everything that people were falling on the streets. They showed a video of one lady that was trying to run into safety and she ran and fell on the streets and someone had to help pick her up and everything. And at
Yeah.
the airports, I cannot believe the video I saw at the airport in Colombia. People are trying to hide and get under, structures and things like that. And there's all these things falling from the ceilings, like I don't even know what poles and sharp objects falling from the ceiling. So wherever
Yeah.
you went in the airport, you weren't even safe. You had to hide under like behind walls, under tables, because all these is crazy, crazy, crazy. And then there was another video of I don't know where it was, maybe a backyard of a pool, and you see it all still, and all of a sudden
Yes.
everything goes everywhere. The pool, all the water comes out like just waves of water all over the outside of the backyard. Furniture gets shifted. People don't even know what's happened. It went
Right.
so quickly that you don't even know what's happening. And now they're still searching for people under collapsed buildings and stuff. And to
Yeah.
date, there has been about around 220 people that have been killed, and the toll they're saying is probably going to go up as the days go by. So we're hoping that they do find more people because when they're in the rescue mode, it's great. What we don't want is
Recovery.
recovery. That's the word. I was trying to think of that. Blanked out for a minute. Recovery. We don't want in recovery mode. And a lot of reporters are saying that when you're there reporting, you have to be very, very quiet because what they're trying to do is they're trying to listen for people, trapped under the buildings. So pretty devastating. And I just pray because when I see videos and stuff, I just pray they can find more people. Is such really such a sad thing. Really, really sad.
Yeah. On Monday, as Rosetta said, there are thousands of people in the street. They just don't know what to do. They're just standing in the street and they're very, very quiet. And they were able to find a 2-month-old baby and they pulled the baby out and the baby was alive. They found, and this happened on Monday, and then they found a lady later in the day. I don't know if that was the mom to the baby, but they brought them out. So what the locals are doing is they're just standing and you can tell they're praying. They're praying for people to be okay. They are saying there's one location there, they think there's about 236 individuals that's buried underneath there. They said there could be thousands of people that are, where the buildings collapsed in, that they're still there. So they're continuing, thank God, to do recovery. They also said that this particular area of Colombia was one of the poorest regions. So when I see that, we live in earthquake country. So I immediately think, were their buildings structurally sound for an earthquake, or because
No?
they were poor people, it was just the best they could do? Because, what if we have a 7.4? Are we all going to be okay? One of the things that I would love is for the world to start sharing data to keep the humans safe instead of we got our technology, you go get yours, because it's just really, really been sad. I know that lots of first responders have headed to Colombia to try and help with the recovery and to do whatever they can to do to help the people. So our thoughts and prayers are with you all, and we just hope everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, and what's nice is that the US have pledged more than 15 million to help the people in Colombia. And it's sad because you can see, because it was in such the poorest part of Colombia, the structures were not safe and sound, and they just crumbled and collapsed really quickly. And they were showing, like just in the distance, you can see just a whole wide, the range was really huge of how much it covered of just
Right.
smoke and just smoke upon smoke because of all the buildings that had collapsed. It's crazy.
Yes. Yes. Well, we are so grateful that you hung out with us until the very, very end. We hope we shared information that was exciting and as well as thought-provoking and feeling, because we want to embrace our chats with empathy. We want to have empathy for one another. So we thank you so much for hanging out. We hope you learned something new. We want you to know that we feel the love that you send to us by watching this to the end. We send it back to you all,
Just
bubbling over.
full of love. And we
Please go out and share it with the world.
yes, and we love that you stay till the end. If you liked our chat, could you please hit that thumb icon? And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell notification so you're the first to be notified when any chats are ready to be viewed. And we just love that you could stay with us to the end. We love it. We are Silicon Valley Girls, chat over tea, loving my teas with the 2 tea bags. And
Yes.
Gloria there with her iced tea. Silicon Valley Girls, chat over tea. And remember
And remember
to
to
always
always
keep
keep
smiling.
smiling.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.